Hey YouTube, thanks for checking out LiboView, and I'm continuing to do camera items, and today I'm really excited about this camera. This camera has been something that I've been wanting for over 3 years now. I think it came out in like 2012. No, maybe it's 2013, but it's been a couple years, and I finally located one. I'm going to be putting a link down below. You can click the link, it'll take you to them. Just try to pick out which one's going to work best for you, and I'm going to tell you about a couple different options. Here's the camera. This is a Sony PJ430V. Now, I was looking for a CX430V, but all I could keep on finding was the substitution that they have. The Sony PJ430, the only difference between it and a CX430 is that it has a projector built into it. I didn't care so much about the projector. I just wanted this camera because of the optical sensor. This is a smaller optical sensor than what you would get in a 540. The 540 then in turn doesn't have as good of image quality as the 4. I know this seems kind of strange, but this happens. This happens a lot in the industry, to where cameras are out there, or anything for that matter. Something a little bit less, that's supposed to be a lesser model, that might have some features that are cut back, allow for other features to be added that couldn't be added to the bigger models. Kind of like if you buy a Cadillac and it's got all the features that you want on it, you might not be able to get the engine choice that you want. And here, that engine that's available on the lesser model actually turns out to be a better engine. That's kind of the case with this camera. I just said that I didn't really care about that projector. I used the projector and it's awesome. It's pretty cool. You can actually display a picture, although the quality's not that great. I mean, you're not going to get HD quality projector, you know, coming out of this little flat lens, but you still get a really good quality picture out of it. And it's kind of nice because I sat on the porch and shared with my wife some of the stuff that I shot during the day. I will show you some footage that I shot with this camera. Let's go ahead and put the box down. I'm going to show you the camera now. All right, so you can see the camera here, and it's not very big. I have huge hands, so there is some manipulation that's required whenever you're trying to do photos and zooming in. Both of those buttons up are on top, but everything is relatively close to the touch. The one thing that I didn't really care for was the fact that I had to really back off the strap to get my fat hand in there. You can see it's only about half the Velcro available that's being attached, but I haven't had any problems. It doesn't come loose. It's tight on my hand. It does a good job. So this has an automatic lens cover, and you set it up to where when you open the camera, the lens opens. Now here is that option that I was searching everywhere for, and this is the reason that I wanted to go with this model. You got to be careful because there are models that are being advertised as having optical steady shot available from Sony, and it's true, they do have optical steady shot. I actually called Sony and asked them which camera they had that was comparable to this one, and they suggested one that didn't have the balanced optical steady shot. That's what this is. I'm sure you've seen videos on this. If not, hopefully you can see in here. Look at that lens, how it moves around inside there. See that? It does that all automatically. It's kind of like on its own little bobblehead. Remember the 8-ball? That's what it kind of reminds me of. That thing's always trying to stay right in center. What that does is, as I'm walking and it's bouncing, you can see that that wants to hold steady. It does an excellent job at it, and I'm really impressed with how well this thing stays steady as I walk. Now the screen's a little smudgy because it is a touch screen. You can do all kinds of features when you touch the screen. I didn't really want to go over all those features. There's just a lot of options inside there. Of course, whenever you have it set up and you're filming yourself, it will flip around. I would expect all cameras to have that feature. Quite a few Sonys that I've owned now. By far, I am impressed with this one the most. It has a hot shoe up top. It does have GPS that's built in that you can turn on and off. However, it does not have Wi-Fi, and I don't really have a problem with that. But what I found with the Wi-Fi on a lot of this stuff, sometimes it works pretty good, sometimes it doesn't. There is an addition that you can put on this hot shoe to give you Wi-Fi, but I really don't think that I would use it for, you know, an extra $90. I don't think that I really need that option. The other thing, of course, is the small little window that's right here. That's the projector. And then this is the focus for the projector, which is just a simple manual slide. It works great. You can focus in right away and you can see what you got going on up to quite a big size. You know, I don't know what it's supposed to do, but I broadcast this on a wall about 42 inches and it looked okay. It wasn't bad at all. There's a lot of features again, and I don't want to go over all of them, but your recharge, you can do it here, or I'm going to show you my chargers that I bought. The other thing is whenever you want to download your videos, you don't have to pull the SD card. You just go ahead and pull this little USB out. It kind of clicks in place. Whenever I seen videos on this before, I thought, oh, that thing probably just slides in there. It actually it's like a little click. I mean, it's pretty substantial once it's in there. So don't think it's going to come out. As far as the batteries go, stay with the Sony brand battery. And that's going to kind of segue into the next little segment here. Let me go ahead and show you what I mean. When you buy batteries, you can see this is a higher capacity battery. They even make a bigger one than this that's even longer, but I didn't want to get that bulky. This was going to do me fine between the two. These batteries are going to be a little bit more expensive than all the ones that you find on Amazon that list these super capacity, super cheap, come with a charger, all that stuff. Please do yourself a favor. You're buying yourself a good camera. Don't depend on a cheap battery. It's just not worth it. When you get your battery, to know that it's a legitimate Sony, I'm putting the link down below. If you click that link for this battery, it's going to give you a legit Sony battery. This has a capacity of 1960 milliamp hour. That is definitely a step up of what it originally came with. The way that you can know this is a Sony battery is if you look on the battery itself, there's going to be a little circle right here and it says recycle, and there's a 1-800 number. Also, there's a hologram that's on here that has some information as far as numbers that's specific to the manufacturing of this battery. Now, with the battery aside, I got a Sony charger. It's kind of nice. Whenever you plug it in, it says it's charging, the light will come on. And then as the battery fills, there's 3 indicators: partially, halfway, full. So whenever these light up, you know about what you have in case you have to pull it off the charger a little bit quicker than you want to. And it's halfway, you know you got half battery life. The thing I like about this is being colorblind, I really need to know when it's really fully charged. I don't need a green light that was red or a red light that turns green. I need a light that will tell me that yes, it's fully charged. Again, don't short yourself by buying an aftermarket charger that may or may not work. It may not fill the batteries the way they should. Now do like I did, and I'm going to put the link down below for this also, like I am everything else. Make sure to check that you might be able to purchase this at a lower price. Like in my case, this was just an open package. You can see here it was damaged when I received it because somebody was in it. I don't care about that as long as it works. And if it's going to knock money off, I think it took an extra $8 off the price. That's fine. I'll do that. So make sure when you click the link down below that you look for the used ones and read through there. There might be something that's a really good deal on there. Now, I've been talking about the batteries. However, you can charge your camera with what comes with it. Again, this comes with the camera. You just open up this door here. You plug this into the port and then plug that into the wall and it will charge your battery. A light will come on saying it's charging, and when it's done, it will go off. So you don't have to buy those chargers. It's just nice to have because when I'm shooting video and I start to run low, if I don't have a place to plug this in, which you can film with this plugged in, but if I'm out and about and I'm filming, I need to switch batteries. And I want the battery that I'm pulling out, the dead one, to start getting charged right away. That's why I bought those additional chargers. Also with the camera, other than this battery and this camera, let me show you what else you get. Also with the camera, again, it's loaded with features, so I'm going to try to cover these as fast as possible. You get the HDMI mini to HDMI plug, and also you get a USB to plug into the computer with a female USB to accommodate this, so you don't have to worry about keeping this stretched to get to a port that you might not be able to reach on your computer. This will allow you to do that. The reason that you like to have this is because of these options. If you see here, you got a little door, and the door asks for an SD card that you can put in there. But here's the cool thing about this camera. This has 32 gigabytes of built-in storage. So you could put up to a 64 in here and have a ton of storage, but I've never needed it so far. You also have headphones out, so you can listen to the video that you filmed, with good, clear quality, and I'll show you why that in a second. You also have a microphone in. You also have a projector in. That way, if you wanted to take another item that has the ability to broadcast through the projector, let's say I want to hook up to one of these little action cams, but I want to project it through the projector, this is how you do it. You plug it into this with your little HDMI. It would allow it to broadcast through the projector. Very cool. Or if you want to broadcast what you have filmed on this camera onto an HDMI screen, a big LCD, that's what this cable's for. The reason you want to listen maybe with your headphones to what you've recorded, this thing records an exceptional 5.1 channel surround sound. I can't believe how accurate this thing is with the surround sound. It's incredible. I just find it amazing that you can get something that will broadcast to all your different channels on your surround sound system. And there's really not a lot of mics going on this camera that you would think that you're picking all that up. I notice a much richer sound whenever I'm using this camera. The other thing that this camera has that's really cool is a zoom mic. And what that means is, as you zoom in the camera, the microphone focuses towards the area in which you're zooming. So if you have somebody that's a speaker, let's say, and you're trying to record what they're saying, but the person next to you is talking and they're a little bit on the noisy side, you're still going to hear them. But if you zoom in the camera to focus on that speaker, it's going to pick up their voice even more than if you have it zoomed out. That's incredible. The other thing that this has is an incredible extended zoom ability. And I'm going to show you some of those things. Not only that, but it takes pretty good photos. It's only 8.9 megapixel stills, so don't expect anything crazy. I mean, there's a lot of phones that will do that easily. However, I noticed that whenever this is zoomed in, it still takes pretty good pics. So I'll show you a few clips of that. All right, so we're back outside again, and in this case I've got my Sony camera, and I'm going to show you some of the shots that I'll shoot. Let me go ahead and zoom in over here. I'm using this shed as a steadying device, and you can see inside the garage there, I do have the steady shot on. Now we're just into the digital zoom. So I've gone off the optical zoom, but now we're in the digital zoom. And you can see it does a good job getting inside there. And it holds pretty steady. Let's go ahead and zoom out a little bit. Let me see if I can zoom a little further. We're gonna go way over here to that barn that's down there. Let's see if we can pick that up. Again, this is all being handheld. And I'm losing the focus there because I can't hold steady. But what a good job. I love the way it does that. And again, as far as movement, let me walk here, and I'm not walking gentle, and I've got it zoomed in. Let me zoom out, and you can see it's doing a pretty good job. It's holding it steady. And I mean, I'm walking around here pretty heavy-footed, and the little icons popped up on the screen, and it's telling me that I'm walking, and it's going to try to help steady that. Again, the fact that it has that little balance optical steady shot inside where the lens is moving is making this a lot better than it would be. All right, so now let's try something else. Let's go ahead and focus in and take some stills. So let me jump onto that. And now let's zoom in. Now we'll do the wood pile here, and now we'll zoom in. I'll put the light to my back so I can get these flowers. Now let's zoom in here and see what we can do. And now we'll get real close here. Now I'm up close. So let's go ahead and go back in and finish this out. All right, just back in from shooting those shots. You can see my glasses might still be dark. This camera is fantastic. I'm putting the link down below. Click the link and search through all the sellers and see what the best deal is you can come up with. Now, here's the thing. They're gonna say this model was replaced with a better model. It might not be better. Just because it has a higher number to it doesn't mean it's a better model. The PJ430 is a pretty good camera in its own right. It just doesn't have as good an image sensor as this one does. So make sure that if you're looking for one, you're going to go with a PJ430 or a CX430. It may have a V on the end, it may not. It may have a V and a B, or it may not. That doesn't make a difference. As far as its shooting ability in HD, I keep this at 60 frames per second almost all the time because that's what my action cams are, and it makes it a lot easier to sync. And I've seen some really good quality come out of this camera. I'm really happy with it. Again, I did a lot of research on it. It took me a couple years to get it, but now that I've got it, I love it. And I think that this is probably the easiest camera that you can get into to start taking some really good camcorder shots, whether it be for your driving experience, possibly you want to shoot videos for family events or just sporting events. It's just a good camera all the way around, especially if you have an unsteady hand. My wife loves shooting with this because she cannot hold a camera steady, and this has done a good job for straightening her out on that. And it's all done mechanically and digitally. So again, the link's down below for this. I'm also including the link for the correct Sony battery and also the correct Sony charger. So you're going to be able to shoot a lot of video for a long time. I appreciate you watching my videos, and hopefully this helps you out with your choice. Thanks. Bye.